How is it going, guys? I am Super Dasmo, and this is part numero 3 of my guide to Spec Ops 15 on Marvel Avengers Alliance. When we left off, we started our 24-hour research task for the Staff of Darkness. Now that that is done, we can move on to our next task, which is to use Moonstone's Blinding Attraction 3 times. For this, we will need to go over to the villain side of Mission 2. Oh snap, I almost forgot. Our second lockbox task is to defeat 15 Murder World robots. So the robot heroes and villains you see in the mobs, yeah, them. That's going to be one of those things that we just do along the way without really putting much effort into it. Now, you will notice there are a lot of jumps in this video. I edited this one a lot due to the fact that there are so many mob battles, and mob battles are boring. Seriously, this video was like 15 minutes long before editing the mob battles. You're welcome. Oh, hey, we're fighting Hawkeye. Now, I tried not to damage him too much in the beginning because our goal is to use Moonstone's ability 3 times. Unless, of course, you're one of those ridiculously lucky people who already have her, in which case you can just ignore this part and do this outside of Spec Ops. What makes this task a bit easier is that Moonstone is a tactician and Hawkeye is a blaster, and Blinding Attraction has no cooldown. Alright, so Hawkeye hit Moonstone, which of course means she gets a bonus turn. Now, I go in for the first Blinding Attraction and he dodges, which is awesome, because if he hadn't, there's no way he would have survived long enough for me to use that third one. What I do here is I just use some defensive items because I do not want to finish off Hawkeye without getting that third Blinding Attraction in. If I do, I have to start the whole mission over again, and that would be so frustrating. Hawkeye aiming in on Emma's boobs there. Stay classy, Hawkeye. And look, she's stunned. She can't believe he just did that. Oh god. Leave the boobs alone! Okay, I think he's done. So we go in for the final Blinding Attraction, and he's down for the count. Ta-da! Task complete. Now we have to defeat 4 mini-bosses. Before we go any further, let's have a look at the deploys needed for the epic boss on the villain side. We have Emma Frost, Black Widow, Black Cat, and then any 2 random characters. Alright, so our task to defeat 4 mini-bosses obviously can only be done inside of Spec Ops. I know it would be awesome to just do a run of Mission 12-2 and be done with it, but sadly that is not the case. The only way to complete this is to redo some Spec Ops missions, and you know what that means? More mob battle editing! Yay! I guess the upside to all these mob battles is that we are making progress on our current lockbox task. You'll notice I am doing all the mob battles here. This is because I was curious to find out if Taskmaster in the Constrictor Epic Boss Battle counted as a mini-boss, but sadly he does not. Okay, so we're getting through our last couple of mobs here before we can hit Red Hulk again. I guess there's not much point in showing you guys that battle, because you've already seen me do it. Obviously not much will be different this time around, except apparently this time Moonstone has decided to dance.
Then it started to disappear.
Alright, so I'm jumping back into Mission 2 in order to get our last mini-boss out of the way and be done with this task. Even more mob battles! We should be done with the lockbox task by the time we get through this mission. So even after all that cutting out footage and speeding up the battles, it still feels like there's too much mob battle stuff here. Just try to imagine all of these at full length and at normal pace. Yeah, boring, right? That's pretty much what editing this video looked like. Am I breaking the fourth wall by mentioning editing this video? Because that's kind of Deadpool's thing, and I'd hate to see what he'd do to me if I stole that from him. Hey look, we finished our lockbox task. Our next one is to use Emma's Psycho Tap 3 times. I already have Emma, so I did this outside of Spec Ops. If you don't have Emma, that's fine too, because she is a team up against Magneto in this mission. Just make sure you use it on a mini-boss and not Magneto, because of course he is immune to psychic attacks. Dat helmet. Hey, speak the devil, it's Magneto. I don't think this battle needs much explaining. Take out Omega before she gets buff. Watch out for Sabretooth's healing factor, be careful when using a character with metal, etc, etc. Done! Now we defeated our 4 mini-bosses, we need to go collect 5 Psycho lockboxes. I still have my group boss reward waiting over here, so I'll go claim that. Next task is to face Arcade 3 times, but let's put that on hold for a minute while we talk about this next lockbox task. What we need to do is defeat 30 thugs. So I went over to mission 8-2 because there are literally swarms of thugs there. 2 runs through and you should be set. And once we've done that, our next lockbox task is to defeat Arcade 5 times, so you can probably guess why I wanted to do this task right now. This way, by fighting Arcade 5 times, I'll be done with my main task and my lockbox task. I have made a video on how to effectively and efficiently take out a group boss. Be sure to check that out here. Once we fought our group bosses, we get our blueprint for the Staff of Ice, and we get our final side task, which is to get 4 stars of mastery in all Spec Ops missions. Now we begin our 2-day research for the Staff of Ice. Be mindful that this will cost you 120 unstable ISO to start. With the research begun, that concludes part 3 of this guide. I have been Super Desmo, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you for part 4.